Hey everyone, and welcome to Brad Thoughts, The Flash, Season 1. Basically, one day I randomly started watching The Flash on Netflix. Not sponsored, but, I really got into the series, and I was like, oh man, I really like this, and I got into, Seasons 2 and 3, and somehow I was convinced, you know what, I should talk about this. Originally, I told myself I wouldn't do this, because, I've got Doctor Who, I've got so many other things to do already. But I said, screw it. I'm going to do a casual thing. This is going to be a quick 10-minute thing, and we'll be done with it. Per season, of course. So, basically, this series is going to have a very quick structure. The overarching plot of the season, number 1. The episodes of interest. Basically, what cool villains or actors make an appearance in the series, and what episode. And then basically just final thoughts on the season itself. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us proceed with the overarching plot of the season. Well, first, I will introduce you to our hero, Barry Allen. Unfortunately, like every superhero seems to have, he had a rough childhood. At age 11, one night, stuff was getting freaky. The water in his fish tank was floating up in the air, and he heard his mom calling for help from downstairs in the living room. So Barry, being an 11-year-old boy, goes, I have to do something. So first off, good on you for initiative, kid, but you're 11. Not the best plan. Maybe get your dad. Ouch. I will talk about that in a minute. But, so he goes downstairs and he sees his mother being surrounded by 2 strange streaks of light. One red, one yellow. Basically, Barry's mother tells him, stay away, get away, please, run. She knows something is obviously wrong and she's trying to protect her child. And that's good and excellent, and I appreciate that. Suddenly, somehow, Barry is whisked away, probably a few blocks from the house. So he has to rush back. Well, he rushes back because obviously he's concerned about his mom and everything. But by the time he gets there, something unfortunate has happened. It would seem that Barry's mother was stabbed and ultimately murdered by someone or something. And what's even more unfortunate for Barry is the fact that his father is implicated as the perpetrator. Because, you have the murder weapon, the knife, you have blood, obviously, and unfortunately Barry's father, is covered in it and he's holding the knife, and it doesn't look good at all. So Barry's father is sent to jail. However, Barry, knows what he saw. He saw these 2 strange streaks. He knows something happened with them that caused this. So, he dedicates his life to crime fighting and, dedicates his life to justice and, of course, the study of science, trying to figure out, okay, what happened. This is also helped in parts because he is adopted by Joe West, a detective, with his daughter, Iris West. Basically, flash forward. Darn it. Meant to avoid that pun. Move forward about, it's 10, 15 years. They don't really tell us Barry's age. But, Barry's now a full-fledged CSI tech for the CCPD with a healthy interest in science. Basically, he's just living his life, trying to figure things out, all the while, working away at the mystery of what happened that night. What were the 2 streaks? Who killed his mother? Because it wasn't his father, as far as he knows. Well, meanwhile, while Barry's working late one night in the CCPD, across town at Star Labs, Harrison Wells is about to activate the particle accelerator that should do awesome science stuff. I don't know what particle accelerators do. I'm not a scientist, I can't help it. I'm just a nerd, okay? There's a difference. Scientist, nerd, just don't judge me. Well, unfortunately, something seems to go wrong with the particle accelerator, and it interacts with a lightning storm that was happening nearby. So, with this interaction, a lot of dark matter is released throughout the city, like, basically, because again, I'm not a scientist, I'm just going to say magic stuff that just does crazy stuff to people. And unfortunately, Barry is caught up in that. He is hit by lightning and is put in a coma for 9 months. You know, but when he wakes up, he finds that he has speedster abilities, like basically the ability to move really fast, you know, vibrate so quickly they can pass through solid things. That'll be helpful. And just other crazy stuff. And so he figures, okay, I'm a speedster. Maybe, you know, what happened so many years ago with my mother had to do something with a speedster. So he's going to figure that out. On top of fighting the crime, you know, of metahumans rising up. Because obviously a lot of people who get powers aren't going to be all goody two-shoes like Barry Allen. Some people are going to be like, hey, I can rob a bank and I can get away with it. And they do. And that's bad. So yeah, the basic overarching plot is Barry's a superhero now, and he's trying to unravel the mystery of what happened to his mother while protecting the city from all the different threats that pop up. Really like it. Okay, so moving on to episodes of interest. Now we got a bunch. First off, we have episode 4. Captain Cold is introduced. Basically the arch nemesis of the Flash. Because obviously the guy who can, you know, freeze you in your tracks is going to be a very, very good match for the guy who can go whoosh, whoosh really fast all around. This is bad. In episode 5, we are introduced to General Wade Eiling, portrayed by Clancy Brown, Mr. Krabs. Just interesting. Basically, he's trying to take advantage of the whole metahumans thing, and he has some history with dark science experiments. That's all I'm going to say, but it's interesting, and I like it. Episode 8, we have a crossover with Green Arrow from the series Arrow, because this is all in the CW and Synergy and blah, blah, blah. So, whatever that means to you. Episodes 12 to 14, we have the subplot about Firestorm. Basically a hero made up of 2 individuals who are fused together through, I want to say alchemy. I'm trying to avoid details on this one because I don't want to sound stupid. But basically they have a lot of firepower and can manipulate elements and alchemy and da-da-da. And it's crazy cool stuff. Definitely worth looking into. And then episodes 15 and 16. Barry's first use of time travel to change the future. Because with the ability to go very, very fast, you know, he can rip through the time-space continuum and do different things. You know, except he goes a bit faster than 88. But maybe, you know, that high speed is what the flux capacitor is for, and... Sorry. Back to the Future. But I'll talk about that eventually, too, probably. Why did I say that? Anyway. Then we move on to episode 17. We are introduced to the Trickster, played by Mark Hamill. Now, this is funny, okay, because Mark Hamill portrayed the Joker in Batman the Animated Series back in the 90s. So, obviously, you know, there's some parallels between the Trickster and the Joker. But it's just cool seeing, like, a live-action version of the Joker with Mark Hamill. It's great. I love it. You should watch the episodes. And don't worry, I keep track of every one. Because I love Mark Hamill. Yeah. Moving on. Episode 18, we are introduced to the Atom. Basically another hero Barry helps out. I don't know much about him, but I'm speculating. I think he's in Legends of Tomorrow. I could be wrong. I apologize if I am. But basically just another cool little crossover thing. Oh boy. Okay. I need you guys to take a moment and sit down for this one. Episode 21. Gorilla Grodd. Are you sitting? Okay. Gorilla Grodd is a large, hyper-intelligent gorilla with telepathic capabilities. Okay, let's go through that one again step by step. He's a gorilla. He is a large gorilla who is hyper-intelligent, meaning a lot smarter than I am, with telepathic capabilities. Basically, he can read your mind, he can read my mind. Oh, and also he can take over your mind and make you do crap that you don't want to do, because he's that good. Yeah. I love comic logic. It's just so crazy and whatever, and it works. And it works here is the crazy part, too. In the real world, and... oh... Anyway, moving on to episode 22, we have Captain Cold return. Why? I can't tell you that, okay? It's a secret, okay? You gotta watch the show. Hashtag avoiding spoilers as much as possible. Don't make that a thing. Episode 23, Barry solves the mystery behind his mother's death. Again, I'm not gonna spoil that one for you, but it's interesting. And then, finally, my final thoughts for the season. First off, this was an excellent introduction to the series. We get a good origin story for Barry. We get to learn a bit more science stuff behind, speedsters. And I love this from the early, I think it's episode 2 or 3. One of the scientists helping Barry out tells him that he needs to consume... it's either 500 or 800 tacos to maintain metabolic balance, whatever. And that just cracked me up. I mean, the scientist in question just goes very casual, he'll make nerdy references and stuff like that. But hey, that joke just slayed me. So I like just some more of the science stuff. Second, I enjoy the cast of the series. There are some characters that I don't like, but that doesn't mean their actor is doing bad things. This is me talking about Ben and Polly in Doctor Who. The actors do a good job of portraying the character, but the character it doesn't gel with me personally. Maybe someone out there likes them. I don't know. I'm not going to name drop because I don't feel like getting hated. It's 90 degrees today. That's why I'm sweating and talking fast. But one of the people I love, I talked about Leonard Snart, Captain Cold, and Harrison Wells, played by Tom Cavanaugh. Now, you may not know the name, but he played JD's brother in the series Scrubs, as well as a few other places, but I've only seen Scrubs. And just seeing him go from the goofy older brother Black Sheep to this cold, calculating scientist type, it's cool, and I enjoy it, and it's awesome. And of course, at the end of the season, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but they do have a good setup for season 2. Oh no, this thing is going on. Barry, you have to do something. Barry does the hero thing, and cut to black. Credits. Does Barry live? Does Barry die? Is there a season 2? Obviously, because I'm talking about it soon. Namely, right after this video. But yeah, so that is Flash Season 1. I really enjoyed it, and... if you're a comic nerd, check it out. If you want to see superhero stuff, check it out. If you liked Smallville, check it out. I enjoyed it. Watch it. Love it. Or if you've watched Flash, or Legends of Tomorrow, or Supergirl, or there's one other series I'm forgetting about. Arrow. Watch this show. It's good. I like it. Trust me. And so, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, those are Brad's thoughts on The Flash, Season 1. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a minute to rehydrate and cool off because damn is it hot. And I'm stressing that because I want you to know how dedicated I am to doing this stuff. I'm sitting in a boiling room talking to you for 20 minutes about The Flash. Even though I originally said, I'm not going to do that. Okay? So, we're good? We're cool? Alright. Well, everyone, I, Valiant Bradley James, will be back in a Flash. I'm boiling. Let me have that pun. I'll be back in a Flash with my thoughts on Season 2. So, until then, have fun, stay safe, keep hydrated, and of course, remember, every character, The Flash, has a story. And apparently I'm going to talk about it because I'm crazy and stupid. Sorry. So, peace out.